Sweet little baby in the trenches. Postpartum depression Sarah needed this. She needed Big Mama here to help her. I can't go back in time and be that for myself, but I can be that for strangers on the internet. When I was like 6 weeks postpartum, I remember being in the shower, sitting on the ground, and I was filled with so much rage and so much fear and so much not okayness that I genuinely felt like I was going to die. Like I did not feel okay. I hated my life and I hated how I was feeling. And the sound of my baby crying was making me angry. The sound of my boyfriend comforting him and being so sweet was making me angry. Everything was making me so incredibly angry and sad. And I was exhausted and I felt trapped and I felt terrified and scared. And everything in the world felt like it was crashing down and crumbling on top of me. And I remember leaving the bathroom and looking in the mirror and just realizing, I think I have postpartum depression. I went up to my boyfriend and I was like, I think I'm depressed. And I just started crying. He started crying. He gave me a hug. Postpartum depression was something we were both genuinely very scared of. I don't know why we were both so scared of it, but we were scared of it. And, you know, we had a baby before we were necessarily ready, before we were financially ready, before we were in like the perfect circumstances. We also had a baby far from like our village. And a lot of pressure was put on both my boyfriend and I. And it was so much pressure on our relationship, it was pressure on everything. And I just cracked. I fully cracked and was not okay. And I didn't feel like I was allowed to not be okay because I had had a pretty good birth and I had an amazing partner and my baby was healthy and perfect and I was healthy and recovering well, but I still was just like so not okay. I was having panic attacks all the time. I would wake up in the middle of the night out of breath and like screaming because I thought my baby was like trapped somewhere under the covers, couldn't breathe. My baby was like in his bed or like with his dad. But like I would just wake up in a frenzy. I couldn't sleep even when my baby was sleeping. I was just always so scared of SIDS, like so unbelievably scared of SIDS. I was not okay. And I'm still honestly dealing with it. Like I'm not on the other side of it yet. I'm in a much better place. But like I do still have tendencies, especially when I'm burnt out, to get really angry and resentful and anxious. And there's still certain things like money or childcare, him going to daycare, things like that, that put me into like hyperdrive of anxiety. And I don't know when that's going to end. And instead of like just waiting for it to end, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, this might never end. And that's just going to have to be okay. I don't think postpartum anxiety or depression is preventable by any means. Like this is a mental health condition and it needs to be viewed as one. But if I could, me, Big Mama Sarah, go back in time to little mama never had a baby Sarah and help her prepare better for postpartum to help relieve some of the stress points and the anxiety triggers, this is what I would have done. So if you're pregnant or your friend is pregnant or you're planning on having a baby one day, these are the things that I think would have really helped me, not in preventing my postpartum anxiety, but in lessening the triggers. I got my phone because I want to make sure I don't forget this stuff. Okay, number 1, labor is, yes, important. It needs prep. You need to do labor prep. But overall, it is a blip in time. It is like a tiny little blip in time that while yes is super important, please, God, little Sarah, prepare for postpartum. Prepare for postpartum. I would get so annoyed when people told me to prepare for postpartum because I was like, I'm preparing to give birth. I'm pregnant. I'm overwhelmed. Prepare for postpartum. Even if it's in tiny little ways, like the following ways that I'm going to share with you, just give it a little effort. Minor, minute, something. Double the portions of the meals that you make for dinner, for breakfast, for 3 weeks and freeze them and suddenly you've meal prepped. I think I thought this was going to be way too expensive and way too inaccessible, like meal prepping. So I kept putting it off until I had no more time and gave birth, because I gave birth like a month early. I would have had fully meal prepped meals, and meal prepped food, I cannot express to you how incredibly helpful it is to wake up and heat up some freaking pancakes. To, oh, the baby's crying, isn't napping, I'm bleeding, I can barely get out of bed. We have food that we can eat for dinner. We just pop it in the microwave or the crock pot or something. Like, so incredibly helpful. Number 3, look at your money, budget your money, and for the love of God, put the bills on auto pay. No one has time or mental capacity to remember to be paying bills. And I will be so transparent with you. I ended my maternity leave in a rough place financially because I was not mentally prepared for less income. Okay, I was making less money than I do because I wasn't working and my maternity leave benefits were not amazing. Number 2, I just wasn't aware of the random costs that you have suddenly when you have a baby. So like things just kind of came out of nowhere and I was like, oh, like whatever. And number 3, nobody has time to think about bills when you're thinking about all the 70,000 things you're thinking about as a new parent, like gas, simethicone, wake windows, sleep windows, did I shower, have I eaten, I need to brush my teeth. Like, you think I'm thinking about my gas and electric bill? No, I'm not. I'm not thinking about the due dates. I'm not thinking about the amount. I'm not thinking about have I paid it. I'm not thinking about that. And nor should I be. So put the bills on auto pay. And I didn't think like it would be that big of a deal. It was a big deal. Deal with the financial aspect before you give birth. And I know that that's stressful because for me, that idea really stressed me out. But girl, it would have been so helpful. When you're nesting, think less of organization. I was obsessed with organizing things, making sure the diapers were perfect, making sure this looks perfect. Instead of the organization perfection thing, how about we nest for us and our needs? I promise you, the baby's needs are going to be met. You're going to meet your baby's needs. No matter what, for the rest of your life, you're going to be meeting those baby's needs. You know whose needs you're going to continuously forget to meet? You know whose needs are going to go to the wayside? Yours, mommy's, okay? So instead of focusing only on, oh, I need to make sure the baby's diapers are organized by size, how about I need to make sure I have a breastfeeding chair with a phone charger next to it and some snackies really in reach and a cozy blanket, and that there's snackies in my bedside drawer, and that I have a heating pad nearby for when I have cramps, and that I have ibuprofen in my bedstand so I don't have to get up and go get it. Those little things. Nest for you and the baby, yes, you. I promise you, everyone's going to meet those baby's needs. Who's meeting yours? Okay? Okay. What's next? Thrift everything you can and stop feeling bad about it. I am a huge thrifty girl, and I was thrifting so much for my baby, and I would feel kind of weird about it, like I can't give my baby new things. Once you see how fast they grow out of everything, you will realize how little it matters. Like half those things at the thrift store were probably unused or like barely used. And the things that get like blown up on, poo-pooed on, thrown up on, nobody's donating that. They're throwing it away. Like the stuff that's being donated is typically in really good condition in my experience. Like this bassinet that I still have right here, even though my baby is fully grown out of it and I need to put it on Facebook Marketplace. I got it for $50 off Facebook Marketplace. She said she used it for 1 month. 1 month, and her baby hated it. So I got a almost brand new, like $500 bassinet for $50. You can find such good stuff secondhand, and I don't know why I was convinced it made me a worse mom. I do. It's called capitalism. But it doesn't, and your baby does not care if things are used. Make a diaper area for your baby. Sure, yes, cute. Make a diaper area for your baby. You know who really needs a diaper area? You, mama. You can change a baby's diaper anywhere. On the floor, on the bed, in the sky, on a chair. You can change that baby's diaper anywhere, especially before they're wriggling around when they're still little and potato-like. You can change that shit anywhere. Do you know whose diaper you can't change anywhere? Mummies. Mommy needs a diaper station with your little tucked pads and your little cooling gel and your stocked pads because you're going to run out faster than you think, and some comfy undies, maybe some disposable undies. Like, mommy needs a proper diaper changing station in the bathroom where she can feel taken care of, like her needs are met. I keep talking about met needs, and honestly, I think it's because one of the biggest causes of postpartum rage, which is secondary to postpartum depression and anxiety, is unmet needs. When your needs are continuously unmet and you're continuously crossing your natural threshold and ability to give, you get angry and your nervous system gets fried. Your nervous system begs for you to be taken care of, and it does that through anxiety, depression, and rage. So that's why a lot of these are about unmet needs. Look at the therapist and network. Have an initial visit. Make sure you like them. Even if you don't see them again before you have the baby, line one up on deck. In case you're postpartum and you're suddenly like, I'm not okay, I would also do that with couples therapy. Like, honestly, couples therapy while you're pregnant, important. Make sure you guys are on the same page about a bunch of things, like how the baby's gonna sleep, how you're gonna feed the baby, whatever. And doing that in therapy makes it a lot easier. Okay, look up the Safe Sleep 7. I know that your baby's gonna sleep perfectly on their back alone in a bassinet in a bed with nothing in there. I know they will. However, just in case, just in case they're not, and you are falling asleep with the baby on your chest, like all of us have at least once accidentally, if you know the Safe Sleep 7, you know you are doing it safely. I had so much anxiety about SIDS and suffocation, and part of it was just I didn't know that there was a safer way to co-sleep. All I knew was that co-sleeping was, don't do it. And so instead of feeling okay if I fell asleep with the baby, I felt like I was killing him. And so then that became my biggest fear. And that's why I would wake up out of a dead sleep, even if I wasn't even taking care of my baby, freaking out that he was in the bed suffocating. And I would get Instagram reels about SIDS and suffocation. Like, it was a whole thing. I did delete Instagram for like a month. It was a hot ass mess express, okay, in here with the whole safe sleep situation. And to give you a disclaimer, my baby does not like safe sleep circumstances to go to sleep. He wants to sleep with me or with a blankie, like right here on his face, okay? At 8 months postpartum, I can laugh at it because I've navigated it. I figured out a system that works for me. I'm good. But this used to be definitely my biggest source of anxiety, was his sleep and how we slept and if he was safe sleeping. I think like the conversation we have around co-sleeping, I've heard it compared to like our sex education before, and it is so true. Like, while I know you're for sure going to be abstinent till you're married and 18 and whatever, how about we learn how to use a condom just in case shit happens, you know? Same idea, right? Safe sleep, well, I'm sure you're never going to go sleep a day in your life, just in case that one rough night comes or those back-to-back rough nights happen, you know how to do something safer. No, it's not 100% like abstinence, but it's significantly safer than if you just deny, and fall asleep with your baby in a recliner. So, Safe Sleep 7. I literally want to print it out, laminate it, and put it on phone poles. Okay, this one I think is objectively the most important, and it's also the last one. You do not owe anyone anything, okay? You're gonna feel like I owe people pictures of my baby. I owe people a text response. I owe people a phone call. I owe people a visit. I owe people a FaceTime. I owe. You don't owe shit, okay? You just brought a brand new human being from the ether to the world. You know what you deserve? A fucking minute to breathe and adapt, especially when people have opinions and germs and a bunch of advice that you don't want to hear. No. Yes, you need a village around you, and my friends and family, near and far, were incredibly helpful when they would reach out and in the ways they would try to help and reach out. But I felt so much pressure to respond to everyone in a timely manner and with a cute picture of my baby. And it was so stressful. You just need to relax into your baby bubble, right? Let yourself go nonverbal for a couple days. Put your phone on do not disturb. Whatever you need to do. And I know like family and in-laws and whatever, like I know it's a whole thing, but you deserve it and you need it. And so often people are so concerned with the baby's safety and well-being and happiness, and they forget about the moms. And it's incredibly important that the person who gave birth to this new life also feels supported. And sometimes the best way you can feel supported is through silent support from a distance. So like if you know someone who's giving birth, send them a meal, or drop a meal off at their house, send them money to buy something on Uber Eats. And you don't even need to give them like a whole explanation, a whole whatever. Like just literally, here's a gift card to get dinner. Love you, don't reply. Like whenever anyone has a baby from here on out, I will drop food off at their doorstep, write them a little letter and be like, to don't text me, don't reply, don't say thank you. Just live your life with your baby. I'm here to take care of you. You don't owe me anything. And as the person who gave birth, you have to remember this. Remember that you don't owe people shit. You don't owe people a visit, okay? If you're not ready to see people, if you're not ready for someone to hold your baby, sorry, you can't come yet. That's okay. You're allowed to say that. You're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to have needs. Actually, I would encourage it. There's probably about 100 more of these that I could come up with. So if this was at all helpful for you, let me know. I can make a billion more of these. But yeah, sweet little baby in the trenches, postpartum depression Sarah needed this. She needed Big Mama here to help her. And I can't go back in time and be that for, oh, I'm gonna cry. I can't go back in time and be that for myself. But I can be that for strangers on the internet. I can be that for other people. And I genuinely feel like that's what I'm meant to do right now. So if you have any other questions about birth, about postpartum, about anything, I'm your girl. Let me know. Okay.
1, 2,